So when I signed up for this lightning talk, I called it biscuit or cake, but actually maybe, that didn't work. Let's try that. Maybe it should have been cookie or cake because we're in the US, right? So, and actually as a developer, this feels more natural to me. And also with thoughtbot, and we're pretty cool, we're progressive, and we're ahead of the curve, so emoji. And this is why when you were asking me my title, I was like, how do I represent emojis? And, anyway, so cookie or cake. It's a really important life skill to have, I feel, to know the difference between these two. And I'll explain why. So in the UK, cookies and cakes are classed as essential items, so you have to pay VAT on them. There's an extra 20% you have to pay tax to the government. You don't have to pay on cookies and cake because they're essential items. You definitely need them to survive. However, if your cookie is covered with chocolate, partially or totally, then it's a luxury item because it's, you don't need that necessarily. Right? So you have to pay that extra 20%. It's more expensive, and it's, we're not very happy with that. If it's a cake, you're fine. You can have as much chocolate as you want. You don't pay it because it's essential. So how do you tell the difference? So it's really easy. Cookies, they become soft when they go stale, and cakes, they become hard, easy. And that's essentially the only skill you need to know, and that's my takeaway from this. So just remember that and you'll be fine. So the interactive bit, I'm not sure how this will work, but let's try. So I'm going to show you some pictures, and you're going to tell me if it's a cookie or a cake. So what's that, a cookie or a cake? Good, you're great at this. Right. Next one, cookie or a cake? Yay. Cake it is. Cookie or a cake? Cake. Yep, Victoria Sponge, it's always a cake. Cookie or a cake? Cookie. Yep. Cookie or a cake? Cookie. Yes. Okay, might have a trick one coming up. Cookie or a cake? Cake. Oh, we're not sure. Okay, so this is kind of a trick one because actually you've got a sort of a cookie layer at the bottom there, and then you've got like this cheesecakey thing. And actually, based on the moisture content, this thing becomes hard when it goes stale, or harder when it goes stale. So technically, it's a cake. So we'll call it a cake for the sake of argument, right? And then the trick one. So for those of you who don't know, these are called Jaffa cakes in the UK. Cookie or a cake?
Luxury item.
Oh. Okay, so actually these are borderline and nobody knows. That is the truth, nobody knows, right? And so what happened was the UK government decided, you know what, these are cookies, so and they come with chocolate, so you have to pay your tax on them. But one of the major manufacturers, United Biscuits, who make these things in the UK, said, no, we're going to take you to court on that. So they took him to court and they tried to reverse that. And they had a tribunal, and the tribunal decided that, you know what, they're actually cakes, and this is why. So they said, okay, so their size is similar to a cookie. They're sold alongside cookies in the cookie aisle. They're presented as cookies, and they're shown as cookies and all that. And they're eaten like a cookie with your hands rather than with, like a spoon or a fork implement like that you normally find when you're using a cake. However, they've got the ingredients of a cake, the dough and all the ingredients are similar to a cake. They've got a texture of cake, so when you go through them, there's like a sponge layer, and it's kind of like cake-like. And most importantly, they harden when they stale. So they're a cake. Isn't that wonderful? So yes. Okay, so now you know. So I hope that convinced you that it's an important life skill to have. And Jaffa cakes are a cake, but if you're not convinced, it could be a lie. Thank you.